Hey, what's up, folks? So I'm watching The Cost of Prophecy Without Accountability. It's a podcast, it's an episode of The Green Room, which is a podcast that talks about some of the dysfunctions and fallout from the IHOP KC controversy. Well, I was part of IHOP KC for over a decade. I want to talk about this culture where you could say what you want, prophesy what you want, and there's no accountability, because that's not how God designed it. Now, first, let me say I believe in the gift of prophecy. I believe it's biblical. I believe it's for today. But how it's carried out matters. And one of the main points I want to make is it should be primarily in smaller and relational settings. Now, here I am. I call myself the bearded prophet. But you will rarely see me on here giving prophetic words. Like, there's a woman out there who's got a pain in her left hip and she's da-da-da and God's going to do this. Now, I believe in that. But I'm more comfortable with that happening in a small relational context. Why? Because there's accountability. One of the things you'll hear if you go check out this podcast, which I do recommend, is people being hurt by traveling ministers, big name preachers and prophets who can fly into town, show up, give a bunch of words. Oh, God's going to do this. This is going to happen. You're going to do this, blah, blah. And then they leave. There's no accountability. There's no cost for them if it does or doesn't happen. And the people are left, and the guy shares examples. The prophet said, your daughter's healed of a horrible heart condition. A week or two later, they go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, we got to do surgery. She's not making progress. Now, you can start wrestling through, well, did I not have enough faith? Are we in sin? I mean, all these kinds of things. But you'll hear in the podcast, he's going to talk about we need to own when we get it wrong. And there was one example I'll share at IHOP of this guy, Dr. Wesley Adams. Great guy. He taught at IHOP University. He was a great guy, well-known, well-loved in the community. Well, he was in a wheelchair. He had an accident when he was a teenager. He was in an auto accident. And he spent something like 50 years in a wheelchair. It was kind of defying science. Like, most people don't live that long in a wheelchair. He was full quadriplegic. I mean, and he did. And he thrived. He had a bright spirit. He was a great guy. He loved the Lord. Now, he would talk about this word, this dream, or this vision. I don't remember who had it or what it was, but he described it vividly. And it was him in his wheelchair and a bunch of IHOP University students, or a bunch of young people. I think students was inferred. And they were laying hands on him and praying, and he gets up from the wheelchair. And there were like a few little indications, like his wife was watching from the balcony, which would be like heaven. And sure enough, his wife had died, I think in, 2009, 10, 11, something like that. And so here we were. I got to IHOP in 2012, but I would take some of his classes, and he would start off class saying, who wants to come up here and pray for me? And he shared the vision with us at the beginning of the year. And so we all knew about it. And there were times I and others would go up, lay hands on him. He'd take 5 minutes at the start of class. Hey, maybe today's the day I'm going to get up out of this wheelchair. This was a good man, full of faith. And I had no reason to believe this vision or dream or whatever it was fabricated. I can't remember if he had it or someone gave it to him. It's irrelevant. But he grabbed hold of that in faith. And he's like, hey, come pray for me. Like, I'd have this vision of getting up from this wheelchair. Well, a year or two before the IHOP KC controversy, was exposed of the big scandal in Mike Bickle, Wes Adams died. He died. Just natural causes, old age. He was 60s or 70s. I don't remember how old he was. He died. And I remember the IHOP leadership, all of whom knew about this prophecy. I mean, he was super public about it and this dream and whatnot. None of them mentioned it. Never gave any description of it, any assessment of it, any ache over it, nothing. It was just like, oh, Dr. Wes Adams has died. Oh, we loved him. He was so great guy. Loved him, loved Jesus. God bless you. We're going to have a funeral, say good things about him, and we're done. And already in my spirit, I'm like, wait a minute. Nobody's going to talk about this word and all these prayers, and like, no one's even going to wrestle through. Was that real? Was there what happened? No, we're not even going to talk about it. I was like, something's wrong here, because I do believe in the prophetic, But because I believe in it, I want to see it done authentically. I want a level of accountability. You'll hear in that Green Room podcast, they're going to say, yeah, I got it wrong sometimes. So the 3 people on the podcast, like, yep, I gave a word to somebody. They didn't get healed. I went and talked to them about it. I said, hey, I'm sorry. I think I got that wrong. Now, the person in that case was like, oh, bro, you were sincere. I'm not mad at you. And hey, I believe in grace. But at least the person had enough humility to go, yeah, I think I missed it there. Or something happened. I don't understand what happened. I mean, I've had words that panned out, but in ways I didn't understand. You know, here's one. I was best man in a friend's wedding. I think it was, 2008, maybe 2009. Doesn't matter. I'm getting dressed. I'm putting on my tuxedo. I'm looking in the mirror. And clear as day, out of nowhere, this like word pops in my spirit. It's like a voice, the internal audible voice of God. And it says, get ready, you're next. And I was like, whoa. I'd been toying a little bit with the idea of marriage. I had some reservations about it. I've shared some about that. But at that season, I was starting to maybe think a little more about it. And I seem to think there was a young lady I was pursuing at that time. I can't remember all those exact timing details. But I got excited. I mean, I was like, well, what does it mean? You're next. Like, I'm here at a friend's wedding. I'm best man. And it said, God, this voice says, get ready, you're next. Now, I do believe it was God. But what happened over the next 12 months is, I think not 1, not 2, but 3 of my friends all got engaged. And in the circles I'm in, most people do short engagements because we don't believe in sex outside marriage. And so, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, maybe a year max. But in general, you're going to have short engagements because people want to get married, and that's great. I had a short engagement as well. But over that time, I'm like, wait a minute, he's getting married. Oh, wait a minute, he's getting married. Wait a minute, he's getting married. And like my love life, romantic life was not progressing toward marriage. And I had to wrestle with that at one point. And I was like, okay, God, clearly either that word is wrong or it means something I don't understand or there's something else going on. Now, I didn't get offended. I wrestled with God. I talked to him about it. And in that season, God did, I think it was late, I guess it was 2010. Yeah, it was late 2010. God put this mark on me at this conference of consecration, prayer, fasting, and devotion to the Lord. And all of a sudden, even at that season, my romantic desires went down rapidly. And my love for the Lord went up rapidly. And it was a beautiful season of consecration. Kind of like being a monk or a priest or something like that. Like in this season, I am going to just love the Lord, dedicate myself to him. And I had grace for that for a season. And it was good. So as I step back from it, I'm like, well, clearly I wasn't next in the way I thought. But God did do a marking work that changed my life and changed my, romantic desire for marriage in that season. In a good way. That was the Lord's work. So, but I still had to wrestle with it of like, hey, it didn't go the way I thought. It wasn't linear, like, well, next means, he's going to get it, I'm going to get it, whatever. But God was still good. And I've worked that through and I have peace about it. But it was messy. It was more complex. It was not just straightforward. We're Westerners. We just think, well, God said it. It's going to happen. That's it. And we don't understand the wrestle. I share about Joseph. He has the dream clear, the vision clear 2 times of everyone bowing down to him, his family bowing down to him. Well, when you have a dream like once, it's good. When you have it twice, it's like confirmation. So he comes downstairs or wakes his family up in the morning and he's like, hey guys, I had this vision. I saw you all bowing down to me. All my brothers and even you, mom and dad, bowing down to me, which in that culture would never happen. Now, why was he so confident about the vision? Because he'd seen it twice. It was clear as day. It was from God, and it was going to happen. But here's the catch. There was a whole lot of mess and a whole lot of years in between the dream, the vision, and the reality, the fulfillment. It took 23 years for that to happen. The Word of God tested him, it says. So it was real. It was true. It just wasn't linear the way we think. God's like, oh yeah, I'm going to take you from today to that vision through a whole bunch of dark alleys and get thrown in prison and accused. And then, yes, you are going to end up in the Pharaoh's house and head of the country and all this kind of stuff. And then it's going to take place. So it will happen, but not the way you expect it. So, folks, I hope you go check out that podcast, The Green Room, about prophetic and accountability with guest Josh Thompson. It's worth watching. Love to hear your thoughts, and we're going to keep talking about this right here on The Bearded Prophet.